Daytona Supercross this week, everybody. Who's going to be back? Let's check out the rider statuses for this week's round of Monster Energy AMA SuperCross. Right here with Always Moto. Welcome to the Always Moto weekly rider status video. Proudly brought to you by Moto Australia and TechnicMotorsport.com. I'm your host, David Hogan, the physical therapist who knows the injuries and fitness needs of our sport of supermotocross. Let's get to this week's updates. Let's talk East Coast 250 riders because we have a few status notes to update you here on. Let's get into it. Cameron McAdoo is in for Daytona. That's right. Despite getting smacked in the face with a Renthal twin wall and causing a facial laceration and probably a minor concussion, nothing confirmed on that, McAdoo will be racing Daytona like nothing ever happened. Let's hope he just has a quiet night in Daytona this week. Daxton Bennick on that Star Racing Yamaha team, he's back for Daytona as well. The team has confirmed that the crash that he had prior to Detroit that caused a concussion during training, he has recovered from and he will be back. Carter Stevenson, the privateer, who was the red flag in the heat race at Tampa, has been cleared of concussion protocol following that crash. He will be back on the line for Daytona this week. In the 450s, there's not much movement here to talk of in the past few weeks, which is great. We're still waiting on an update on Christian Craig and when he will make his return to racing following his ACL surgery and rehab that started back when he had that incident at SMX in Las Vegas. No races picked out yet, but it's got to be soon, right? Last week, we had the West Coast 250s out on track in Arlington, and we've got a couple of things to mention here. Jordan Smith went down hard in the whoops. Everyone saw that crash. He was leading the race. Pretty unpleasant looking crash. He managed to puncture a lung, break a rib, and get a minor concussion. Now, we're not sure on exactly his status, but the next race for the West Coast is a showdown with the East Coast is in Indianapolis in a week's time, but there is then a 2-week break after that before a race in Seattle. Expect him back somewhere in that window. Another West Coast rider to watch ahead of their next round, Julian Beaumare. Juju dislocated his shoulder in Arlington during qualifying. Still managed to race the night program, albeit below an expected result level for Juju. How will he be in 2 weeks? We'll have to check back on him before their next round to find out his status. Dylan Swartz on the Bar X Yamaha made a surprise to return to racing after a discreet non-season start. Dylan commented via his Instagram that he broke his hand 1 week prior to Anaheim 1 and he was required to have surgery. He was back on the bike at Arlington, which is around 7 weeks post-injury. Not exactly fast, not exactly slow. Good to see Dylan Swartz back on track. In some SMX Futures news, Aussie Caden Minier is meant to be back for Daytona this week and his Star Racing Yamaha team, but at this stage, we still believe he might be out from an injury that has lingered on a little bit longer than many would expect. Hopefully, he's on the right side of it now, and we'll see him at the next Supercross next race. That's the updates for now, but make sure you follow our social pages to stay up to date throughout the week. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel as we have plenty of content throughout the season. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the track.